Ed,
I didn't realise you were a Spurs fan.
I am, yeah. Yeah, we've all got across the bear, mate.
How was that last day for you? I used to be a season ticket holder at Spurs years ago, right? I wouldn't say that I was a mad fan, but that last day, people were just shook. Like people, my friends who are hardcore Tottenham fans, and my friends who are hardcore, it was mad.
Yeah, that was crazy, and to be honest with you, I don't really know what happened. I'd like to say what I think happened. Maybe a few people made a few quid.
Oh, no.
Who knows? No, it's naughty of me. Dillian Whyte Jr.
Yeah,
good fight on paper.
Good
fight on paper. But with everybody talking about GGG, I can't help but kind of identify the disparity between the two fighters. Obviously, no disrespect to Dillian, he's not in GGG's class. So how do you see this one going yourself?
I mean, firstly, let's look at the Dillian fight, and I think when we announced Eubank yesterday, the normal sort of British mentality was, oh, it's going to be some South American over 10 rounds. So great to be defending the Lonsdale belt. Great to be defending it against an unbeaten, hungry fighter, and great to be defending it against a fighter I know quite well and has boxed on a number of my shows. So it's great for him to get the opportunity. I think when you look at the contenders for the British title, you'd have to put Dillian up there in the top 3, probably, of guys who deserve it. So great fight. He can punch. He's got a good boxing brain. I think it's going to be enjoyable.
I reckon even if he does lose, he'll come again. Is that kind of?
Yeah. But looking at the GGG thing, I can't ignore it because it's what I've been asked to do. So, and that focus is 1,000,000% clear. This is what we want you to do. You know, we've got a couple of fights planned, then get us that big pay-per-view fight. That's what we want.
How many fights was the promotion deal with?
It's 2 fights initially. So we've got this and the Kell Brook card, and then the other one kicks in a longer-term deal. So it put the pressure on me with that. Do you know what I mean? But I'm easy, you know. I mean, I say to people that although I'm a promoter, I feel like my job is not only to look after my clients, but also to put good fights on Sky. So I don't mind if a fighter is not with me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like obviously I want Eubank Jr. and hopefully this is a career-long deal, not a couple of fights deal. But really my job is to put good fights on Sky. You ain't got to be with me. In fact, sometimes when you're not with me, you're less of a headache. We can come on, there you go, there's your platform, thank you very much, see you soon. Do you know what I mean? So I'm easy with it, and I believe he's going to be a star. Someone tweeted me yesterday and said, this is going to be a pain for you, how are you going to deal with this? I said, sometimes things are worth hanging in there for. There's not many fighters like him. There's not many packages like this in world boxing. So I'm excited and, I expect big things.
How good can Chris Eubank Jr. be? Because everybody's talking about him winning a world title. He's well-placed WBA, well-placed WBC. Everyone's talking about him winning a world title. It's kind of been a foregone conclusion. We're just watching the journey unfold. But in your opinion, how good can he be?
I think he's getting better and better. I think, the Blackwell fight, I thought that was going to be a very tough fight, and it was a tough fight. Let's not forget that. But he goes through the gears really well. He's got a sensational engine, and his shot selection is excellent, and his chin is impregnable. So I think he can go and win world titles for sure. Can he beat Golovkin? Listen, that's the hardest fight in world boxing. English or senior believes he can. And if they believe you can, you're halfway there already.
You're a marketing man. I mean, I get the marketing strategy of positioning your brand next to the best in the world in order to get the attention. Is that what they're doing?
No, because I have permission to go and sign the fight. So really, I don't care. I don't have to call the name out. And listen, if I was guiding the career, I probably wouldn't be looking at Golovkin now. I'll say that straight up. But this is what I'm told to do. And it's not when I get the contract they turn around and go, Ed, I was only joking. He was only using his name to get a bit of publicity. They're ready to sign. Yeah. So
you basically saying you think it's a bit of a mad one.
It's ambitious. It's not something I'd look at now. Right. But they want it. And therefore I'm saying, you want it, I'll deliver it. So we'll see.
Looking at the rest of the card, do you expect Joshua to roll over Dominic? I mean, where do you expect that one to go?
You know, my big concern with Josh is that a lot has happened in his life very quickly. And, he's had very little break in between fights and therefore in between camps. He had a couple of weeks off, but he was like media obligations all day, every day. And he's a bit tired, it's going to be a tough camp, this. And Brazil sort of tucked himself away. I've seen a bit of footage. Brazil, the difference between Brazil and Martin is Brazil's got pedigree. Do you know what I mean? So he's travelled, He's experienced big events. He's boxed at big shows. He's boxing the Olympics. I'm just going to see a little bit of a different mentality in this fight. Doesn't matter if you get hit on the chin and knocked out, but I don't think he'll capitulate like Martin did. I mean, I'm still of the belief that was a sensational performance from Anthony Joshua. He took on a 6'6" southpaw and destroyed him, right? And everyone says, "Oh, Martin was just terrible." So that's the British mentality, isn't it? Rather than going, "What a performance!"
Well, I think everything coincided to produce that performance. So, you know, the venue, the hype, everything. I think everything was for Joshua, and that advantage told.
Execute,
of course.
And it's only the special ones that do. The others go out there and they sort of a bit scrappy, or they get chinned, or
make hard work.
Yeah, but that was just clinical, wasn't it? So you can only beat what's in front of you. Now he's got Dominic Brazil. Again, when you look at the British mentality, in America, this fight has gone down really well. People are going, what a great fight. I mean, we just signed a Showtime deal. You know, in Britain, it's like, oh, Dominic Brazil, oh. You know, it's a 17-0, 15 KOs, first defence of the world title. So, yeah, it's good. Groves Murray, of course, on the card as well, which is just a wonderful fight for British boxing. You've got now Eubank Doran as well. You've got Dillian Whyte is likely to be added as well. You've got John Wayne Hibbert fighting for the WBC silver title, which will go under the radar. But this is a kid who, when I signed him, was, I think, in an eliminator for the Southern Area title. You know, so great night.
Dillian Whyte, that's interesting. Who's he likely to line up against?
I think he'll be back with an 8 or a 10 rounder at the O2. I mean, he's obviously coming off shoulder surgery, but we're looking at the Dave Allen fight for the British title. It's a nice fight with a little bit of beef. I like Dillian. You know, when you talk about characters in boxing, when you've got a character that can fight, it's great for a promoter. You know, I like to be around Dillian. I like to listen to him. He sells fights well.
Makes your job easier.
He can fight as well. So yeah, I want to work with him, and you know, we're putting a deal together at the moment.
Will he fight Chisora, do you reckon, later on down the line?
Great fight. You know, I think the main focus is to win the British heavyweight title. Once he does that, you've got Price, you've got Chisora. There's some big fights out there. You know, everyone's looking at a potential AJ fight. You know, all the guys who think they're 1 or 2 wins away. And Dillian, 100%, we'd love to do that fight again. We know it would sell. We know it would be a great fight. And AJ wants great fights. You'd think that Joshua would say, "Nah, listen, we've done Dillian." He's going, "That's a good fight, isn't it, a rematch?" And Dillian, of course, would love it. But Dillian also knows he needs a couple of fights to get back in the mix of things. He wants to win a British heavyweight title, and then it becomes very viable.
Sticking with the heavyweights, not yours, but Povetkin, Wilder, what are your thoughts on that whole situation?
I mean, I couldn't believe in the first place that they were sending Deontay Wilder to Russia. Like, you know, I mean, actually, what I would have done is I would have put Deontay Wilder in with Charles Martin, but they couldn't because I offered them too much money for Charles Martin, and then Povetkin offered a lot of money for Wilder.
Well, DeBella's a wildly horse, though. I thought he would have Lou DeBella. I don't think. Why would he consider that?
Well, because I mean, it's Heyman's the advisor, so DeBella's the promoter. But it's a lot of money for them. I mean, you've got to think he's making $1.5 million a fight, and he gets offered, what, $5 million or something like that to go. He's thinking, I'm going. But when you do that, you have to deal with all the other stuff that comes with it. I'm not talking about performance-enhancing drugs, but loads of different things. But, you know, tough to say there hasn't been rumours about that fighter and other fighters from that region before. The only way you're going to eradicate drugs in boxing is random drug testing. So over here, we sign up to UCAD for random testing, right? I can't tell you. And people say to me, "Oh, yeah, well, when was Joshua last tested?" Well, 3 times in his last camp, all on random occasions. You know, when was your Tony Bellew, like 3 days ago, knocking at his door at 6 o'clock in the morning? That's how you catch people. And that's how they caught Alexander Povetkin. You know, and even if it's like, "Oh well, meldonium is only just taken off the ban list." Why are you taking meldonium anyway?
You haven't got a heart problem, is it?
I know, but it's like it opens up your lungs. Basically, it gives you an edge.
That's what it does.
So, like, what's wrong with protein powder? You know what I mean? We just need
the old school ways.
Yeah, but of course, when there's so much money on the table, people are always looking for edges and to cheat. And you know, Coogan asked me a question the other day. It's like, do you think they should be banned for life? You get the odd occasion where a fighter may have either taken a substance they didn't believe was banned, or you got Lucas Brown. Now, was Lucas Brown spiked? I think maybe. So if this guy is telling the truth, how harsh is it that it's probably ended his career? Do you know what I mean? Keith Galahad, do you believe the story? You know,
who knows?
If it is true, he was bang unlucky. Dillian Whyte just had a drink. That whatever it was, jacked or whatever it was, you know, like from a. So there's all. I mean, some are cheating, some are stupid, and some are just unlucky.
Well, the authorities are in place to find all that out, so I guess we've got to trust in them. Last question then. Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather. Much ado about nothing. Hype could happen. Your thoughts?
I think it could happen because there's enough money for it to happen. But I mean, Mickey Elliott put a tweet out the other day, and he said, "I have 3 fighters at 154 pounds that would beat Conor McGregor," and he's right in a boxing match. So it's a complete mismatch.
Bit of a fast then?
Yes, but sometimes fast is sell. And if it sells, you can guarantee Floyd Mayweather's going to be all over it.
On that note, thanks, Ita. Appreciate it. Nice.